Hello everyone, I'm Sharpeter43 once again bringing you all week 1 of the IBL D-League. This is going to be our first week. Our opponent is going to be MidPokemaster and the Kentucky Torracats, I think it was. And so yeah, this is our team. We brought Tapu Fini, Muck, Alolan, Galvantula, Dragonite, Houndoom, and Mega Gallade. The reason why I brought this team was because what I wanted to do here was actually see if I can set up sticky webs and then just either outspeed a lot of things with Mega Gallade or just hit a lot of things with Dragonite really hard, assuming nothing is Scarf, because I think he does have some mons that can still outspeed Dragonite even under sticky webs if they're Scarf still. But Houndoom might actually be able to, still take out some mons. It's just so that Houndoom, Dragonite, and Gallade can all just, put in the finest of work. Maybe even Tapu Fini if things like Darmanitan get in the way and all that stuff. So yeah, but my opponent is actually going to be bringing something, well, really scary. Obviously he brings Garchomp, he brings Zapdos, he brings Darmanitan, he brings Necrozma, he brings Mega Blastoise, he brings Chestnut. I think I only predicted him to bring, I think, 4 of the mons here, because I did not expect him to bring the Chestnut. I don't even think I expected him to bring. Actually, I think the Darmanitan was a 50-50. If he didn't bring Darmanitan, he might have bring the Ditto, which was one of the things that, yeah, it's just I was really like forced to prep for, like, really hard, which is really annoying. But yeah, so anyways, but before we get into the battle, as you can see, the battle is going to be taking place on Showdown. The reason for that is just because Pokemaster and I tried to do the battle on Wi-Fi, but the game kept disconnecting over and over again. There was a point where we got so far into the battle and we tried our best to recreate it. The game kept disconnecting in so many instances. Oh, and not to mention, also because this battle was like, when we got far into the battle was so RNG dependent that recreating it was just super annoying. Actually, we had to make sure certain things did not happen in order for us to be back on where we were. And every time that happens, the freaking game decides to disconnect, and that pissed me off a lot, because honestly I was just like, why? We went through all that trouble just for the game to disconnect again. Like I guess that's why a lot of people don't like Wi-Fi these days. It's just because it causes inconveniences sometimes, especially when it comes to, performing well in these Wi-Fi battles. And this is why people prefer Showdown instead, because in Showdown supposedly you can't disconnect ever, so, and it's more easier to just simply recreate if it's necessary, But man, I'm still not a fan of Showdown anyways. Like, I still don't like Showdown. Showdown is still boring for me. I mean, look at this horrible layout. This doesn't feel real at all. Okay. I'll be fair here. They did make the Pokemon still have their animations, but I also like to see the trainers in the background as well, and not just sprites. That was back in the days of yore, man. Why incorporate that today? I don't know. But again, my opinion still stands. I don't care how many facts there are about Showdown being technically better than Wi-Fi. I still prefer Wi-Fi no matter what. But all that aside, yeah. So bottom line is that there were so many disconnects on Wi-Fi, and we just had to do Showdown, and that was the end of the story. But anyways, yeah, I lead with Alolan Muck, and I think what I tried to do here is just go straight for the Ice Punch. I did have an Air Balloon. I wanted to see if he was actually willing to take it, if he was willing to break that Air Balloon, so that it's easier for his Garchomp to take me out with Earthquake later. But he actually ends up switching out. He doesn't even Volt Switch, actually, which is crazy. He doesn't Volt Switch, and he goes in the Blastoise right here to take the Ice Punch, because I think he did predict the Ice Punch. Because, yeah, I think he definitely predicted the Ice Punch here. I do go for it. I don't get the Poison because this Muck does have the Poison touch ability, which, has a chance to inflict poison no matter what move it is. So, yeah. But I decided to Hard Switch into Tapu Fini because I don't want him to just simply scald my Muck and potentially burn it, also removing my Air Balloon in the process, because that would actually be really bad. So I wanted to Tapu Fini because I looked at Blastoise's moveset, and aside from Mirror Coat, I didn't think he really could do anything to my Tapu Fini. So yeah, here he Mega Evolves, he goes for Scald, which is something I was hoping he wouldn't go for, which he did. But thankfully Misty Terrain doesn't give it Tapu Fini any burns. Now here I decided to go for the Moonblast. And this is where I was like, oh, so he did have the Mirror Coat. I was hoping he wouldn't have the Mirror Coat, honestly, but he did. So as a result, and I honestly was hoping he wouldn't do this much if he ended up having it, honestly, like this much damage. Because look how much damage Moonblast did here. Not a lot, and then this Mirror Coat just does a lot. It's because supposedly Mirror Coat doubles the damage output of whatever attack Tapu Fini goes for. It's kind of crazy that's how it works, but yeah. So Mirror Coat does this much damage to my Tapu Fini, which is actually really bad, because this Tapu Fini I think was actually a bulky set, which was meant to take at least a hit or two from Darmanitan or Garchomp, and then take it out with either Scald or Scald or was it Surf? I don't know, one of the two, or Moonblast. But unfortunately now with this, it's pretty much crippled, which really sucks. I think here, because of that, I actually went for the taunt right here. Yeah, right here. He's gonna switch out into Zapdos. I don't know what he was predicting here, but I just went for the taunt, which I guess pretty much doesn't allow him to roost here. But here's what I think this was a misplay right here. I go into Galvantula to take a Thunderbolt. I mean, I didn't want to lose Tapu Fini, so it wasn't an entirely bad play, but this is where I feel the bad play came in. I decided to just stay in and go for Sticky Webs here, because I wanted to see if maybe this Zapdos was maybe, I don't know, choice or something. But he ended up not being choiced, and he actually ends up going for the Heat Wave as soon as I get Sticky Webs up. So I essentially just lose my Galvantula right here, which pretty much sucks. And now here I decide to go into Dragonite because this Zapdos has not taken any damage whatsoever. And if he wants to go for Defog right here, I can just go for the Dragon Claw, which is boosted by Choice Band, by the way, because I brought a Bandit set because I was thinking if I can get the Sticky Webs up with Galvantula, if nothing on his team is Scarf, this Dragonite is going to be really deadly for his team. So yeah, but yeah, so here I go for the Dragon Claw. He goes for Thunderbolt. He stays in and goes for the Thunderbolt. I just go for the Dragon Claw, and that did a nice amount of damage. Like, I kind of wish I had a Rocks on this team because of it, but yeah, it did a nice amount of damage nonetheless. And what I do here afterwards is, because I didn't want him to go for Hidden Power Ice again, or Hidden Power Ice now that he broke my multi-scale, I hard switch into Gallade, and he ends up switching out himself and going into Chestnut. Why exactly? I don't know. I honestly was gonna go for the like, if I stayed in, I might have gone for another Dragon Claw, but I didn't. It's because I didn't want Zapdos to go for Hidden Power Ice. So yeah, here he's gonna go into Chestnut, yeah, and I stayed in and Mega Ball going for taunt because I was thinking, okay, Chestnut can do several annoying things. It can either Leech Seed, it can Spiky Shield me, or it can set up spikes. So I was thinking one of those three could be the case here, so that's why I went for taunt. But instead he just goes the full offensive route and just goes for the Wood Hammer, cutting over half of HP of Gallade. And now this play might have been bad on my part, but again, you have to also understand why I went for it. It's just because I didn't want him to do anything annoying, because if he forces me to switch around, it could be a lot more easier for me to switch around. But I didn't think he'd go full offensive here, because especially when I could have just probably gone for a Zen Headbutt here, because I do believe I had Zen Headbutt on this Gallade. So yeah, but this matters because now I can't even take a hit from Garchomp with Earthquake and maybe hit it with an Ice Punch. But oh well. So yeah, here I think I switch out into Houndoom now because I didn't want to take another Wood Hammer, because I go down to another Wood Hammer, which is actually really annoying. So here I go for the Flamethrower with Houndoom. He switches out into the Garchomp, annoyingly enough. I was actually hoping he wouldn't do this. If I expected this, I would have probably gone for the Will-O-Wisp here, but unfortunately he did not. So, or unfortunately I did not predict it, so therefore here I try to go for the Black Hole Eclipse just to see if he actually stay in. If he stayed in, it's because he's Scarfed, but he actually switched down and went into Chestnut. So yeah, and that was actually really annoying because I just wasted my Dark EMZ. Like, I went for it because I was thinking he might stay in, but he actually ended up just switching back into Chestnut. I don't know if it was because he was predicting my Z move, or if it was because he was thinking I may be choiced, and that if I went for Flamethrower I would want to switch out. That's why he predicted that, made a switch probably back into Tapu Fini or something, and just going back into Chestnut. I don't know. It could be one of those two things. But yeah, the bottom line is that my Houndoom wasted his Black Hole Eclipse move, and that just sucks. So here I try to go for Flamethrower again. He tries to predict me to go for another move again and goes into Zapdos. Here he ends up sacking Zapdos, which I guess is good for me, but now he gets the free switch into Blastoise, which is annoying. Now this is why it's annoying, because I stay in, go for Dark Pulse to get some damage, but he goes for the Rapid Spit instead of taking out my Houndoom, which sucks. But because now I don't have Sticky Webs, and now this Darmanitan, if it's Scarf, can be a big deal. Or if his Garchomp is Scarfed, again, it could be a big deal. It'll be troublesome for me, because not a whole lot of my team actually outspeeds, actually nothing on my team outspeeds Scarfed Darmanitan or Scarfed Garchomp. But anyways, here he goes in the Necrozma, I believe, and I went for the, I think, okay, he went for Earth Power, because I think I was in, yeah, I took him out with, okay, he went in Necrozma on my Houndoom, and then I switched out into Tapu Fini, hoping he doesn't go for something crazy like Charge Beam or something. And he ends up going for Earth Power, which is fine. Makes me glad I switched out, because Houndoom was not going to be able to appreciate a Earth Power. I went for Moonblast to see how much damage it does. I went for Taunt first, I think. Like, yeah, I think I switched in Tapu Fini. I went for like Taunt or something. I think. I don't remember. Something like that. And then here I think it was when he went for the Photon Geyser. Yeah, I think I went for Taunt, and then I went for the, you know, the Moonblast. He goes for the Photon Geyser, takes out my Tapu Fini. I was debating on whether or not I should have sacked it, but again, I didn't want to hard switch in the Houndoom on the off chance he predicts me again and goes for Earth Power again. Because he could have just simply spammed that at this point. I taunted this thing so that he doesn't get rocks up or something. But what he ends up doing right here is just switching back into actually no, I switched into Houndoom after sending out Gallade. I wanted to see if he'd switch out, predicting me to set up on it or something. But no, he doesn't. And here he switches in the Blastoise just to sack it. So that way he can just bring Garchomp and just take me out with a Dragon Claw. I was actually going to switch in the Muk, hoping he'd go for Earthquake, but actually I didn't. So thankfully I didn't because he went for Dragon Claw instead. Now here I go for Ice Punch, and I thankfully do get the Poison Touch actually here. But unfortunately it doesn't take it out, like the Poison doesn't take it out, so I had to hard switch in the Dragonite and hope he doesn't go for anything crazy like Stone Edge or something. He ends up going for Wood Hammer. And then here I think I switched yet again into Gallade just because I was afraid of a Spiky Shield, like a last ditch Spiky Shield. That's exactly what he did. So thankfully he goes down to the Poison now. And now he's going to send out the Garchomp, which I wanted to find out now if he was going to be Scarfed or not. And would you know it, it was in fact Scarfed. So, and he went for Dragon Claw, so that means that if I go into, well actually I think what he ends up doing right here actually is just going into freaking Necrozma here. Because I went for the knockout because I thought he would want to switch out. But he had a Cobra Berry on this Necrozma, which sucks because this doesn't allow me to take it out. And then here I just have to go for the Dragon Claw just to take it out. I wanted to go for E-Speed here, but I didn't want him to just go for Moonlight afterwards. Because what I wanted to have done was probably just get some damage on the Garchomp. But, you know, it didn't happen. So here I just sent out Muk because Garchomp takes out Dragonite because this thing was Scarfed actually. And yeah, it outspeeds my Dragonite obviously. My Dragonite was banded, so I would have had to have switched out Muk, but I didn't want to because this Garchomp was just going to go for Dragon Claw, or Outrage at this point anyway, and just take out my... It's crazy how he run both Dragon Claw and Outrage in this battle, honestly. I could have so had Tapu Fini on that, but I don't know, maybe he has Poison Jab on that as well, I don't know. But yeah, here he goes for the Outrage, and I thankfully live it. He does break my Air Balloon, but it doesn't matter anymore because this Air Balloon was for the Garchomp anyways, in case he wanted to like spam Earthquake or something. But thankfully it didn't. And now here comes the Scarf Darmanitan, and that's just going to be the whole game right there. Because he just goes for U-turn and takes out my Muk because my Muk was weakened thanks to the Garchomp, obviously. So yeah, unfortunately we're going to just start off the IBL D-League with a loss. But it's not a terrible loss. It was only a 1-0. And the best part is that this battle was on Showdown anyway, so you know me, I don't really care if I lose on Showdown because I don't care about Showdown. Showdown can, I don't know, go away or something, I don't know. Not really, because I know that this program is actually very, very useful for a lot of people, so if it went away, it probably would be, I don't know, chaotic or something. But yeah, you know, I'm just saying that I don't really care if I lose on Showdown because it's Showdown, obviously. I never care about Showdown. But anyway, so nonetheless, GG to MidPokemaster for that battle, because that battle was actually really, really intense, not gonna lie. If it was done on Wi-Fi, it would have been hell of epic, honestly. But, you know, it was, like, the freaking disconnects just didn't allow for that to happen, so, yeah. But nonetheless, this was a really, really good game, and it's really, really cool that I'm actually being able to showcase it here, because, yeah, even though I lost, it's not a terrible loss. And again, I was, like, on the edge of my seat for this whole battle, just because I was thinking, shoot, can I bring it back? But, no. I was just a little bit off. It's because I did make a few bad plays here and there. Like, I feel like I should have maybe, I don't know, maybe taunt the Blastoise to scout its moveset, the Mega Blastoise, because going for Moonblast straight up against the Mega Blastoise really, really cost me because it costed my Tapu Fini a lot of HP, and, you know, it got weakened to the point where Garchomp and Darmanitan could have just simply taken it out in many different ways. But, yeah, I think also just going for, I think wasting my Z-move on Houndoom was also probably a misplay. But at the same time, it might have been a misplay for him as well to just not take out my Houndoom with a Dragon Claw. But I guess he was fearing I'd be Scarfed or something. But if I was Scarfed, I wouldn't be able to take it out with a Dark Pulse or something. But again, I don't know. I think maybe it was predicting something else. I don't know. But yeah, I do feel like I made a few misplays here and there, but I don't know. In the end, for the misplays that I made, I actually made this battle pretty close too. So, I mean, it's not that bad, honestly. But yeah, anyway, so that's going to be the whole game. That's going to be week 1 for IBL D-League. And stay tuned for next week, I guess. I mean, I do have other battles I want to showcase here before another battle in IBL D-League, but this is just one that I wanted to get out of the way as soon as possible because this one was in fact due today. So yeah, but with all that said, thank you all for watching. Catch you guys in the next battle, but for now, just take it easy.